If you walked through the streets of Edo period Japan, you would find a densely populated society operating with remarkable precision. A major part of this order came from how they handled biological waste. They utilized a closed-loop night soil system where human waste was carefully collected, commercialized, and transported out of the city to be used as agricultural fertilizer. Meanwhile, in 14th century Europe, garbage collection did not exist. Human waste and rubbish were thrown directly into the streets, flowing freely into the rivers and creeks that also served as the primary everyday source of drinking water. When a population booms but civic hygiene is ignored, society inadvertently creates a ticking biological time bomb. Europe actually possessed the blueprints to fix this. Deep within isolated Cistercian monasteries, monks were quietly maintaining ancient Roman plumbing technology. They utilized complex gravity flow aqueducts, flushed latrines, and lead pipes to move fresh water right through their compounds, effectively keeping the pathogen-rich waste separate from their living quarters. Occasionally, this engineering made it into a city. In 1237, London built the Great Conduit, an underground channel that brought pure Tyburn spring water right into Cheapside. But unfortunately, this was a rare anomaly. The technology to safely manage dense populations existed. The squalor of medieval Europe was a failure of societal organization. Humanity had outgrown its hygiene. In the 1340s, the bubonic plague hitchhiked from China to the Black Sea port of Kaffa. After a Mongol siege, fleeing Genoese sailors brought the pathogen directly to the European mainland. The disease found a host population that was already starving. A climate shift known as the Little Ice Age had caused successive crop failures, leaving the European public severely malnourished and immunocompromised. Medical science offered zero defense. There was no concept of germ theory. Most people believed disease was spread by bad smells or was a spiritual punishment from God. Doctors relied on counterproductive treatments like bloodletting, choosing which key veins to slice open based on guidance from astrological charts. Total societal hysteria set in. Groups of flagellants marched from town to town, whipping themselves with iron spikes to appease God, while some doctors instructed patients to inhale human waste, hoping one foul odor canceled out another. Between 1347 and 1351, up to 30 million people died. Half of the entire population of Western Europe was wiped out in just 4 years. A death toll that massive and rapid is the direct consequence of a dense, interconnected civilization lacking the biological infrastructure to defend itself. Yet there were tiny pockets of absolute resilience. As the plague ravaged the surrounding area in 1349, the residents of the Christ Church Monastery at Canterbury were entirely spared. Their survival was engineered. Water was piped through 5 underground settling tanks to remove impurities before trickling continuously through their washrooms and powerfully flushing out their drains. Cleanliness and functional infrastructure acted as physical armor against the pathogen. The tragedy is that the broader society had completely ignored it. By 1351, the dying finally slowed. Half the workforce was buried, but the physical world, the farmland, the tools, the gold, and the infrastructure was completely intact. This chart shows the macroeconomic aftermath. While the population line stays low and flat, the per capita wealth line shoots exponentially upward. The share of everything available to the survivors instantly doubled, and real wages spiked. With fewer hands to work the fields, agriculture pivoted from labor-intensive grain cultivation to land-heavy livestock farming, an economic transition historians refer to as the shift from corn to horn. Surviving commoners who had previously struggled to afford basic meals suddenly had disposable income. This triggered an unprecedented surge in demand across the lower and middle classes for imported luxuries like cured fish, cane sugar, and exotic spices. The Black Death acted as an involuntary wealth redistribution event, laying the economic foundation for modern consumerism. To keep this economy running with a fractured labor force, society pivoted to inanimate power. Human muscle was replaced by engineered water wheels and sail-only ships. This dynamic gave rise to crew regions, coastal and mountainous areas that leveraged these maritime technologies and early firearms to launch high-risk, high-reward global trade expeditions. The squalor of medieval Europe created a catastrophe that nearly wiped the continent off the map.
Yet this severe biological reset catalyzed the wealth, wages, and technology that built the modern world.